thought I would come on and go live. Haven't been on this channel recently. I've had a lot of things going on. Y'all know how that goes. Life sort of gets in the way. So, thought while I was cooking and had a few minutes, I'd say hello. So, hello. So I'm making chicken Parmesan. I'm going to actually be making several meals over the next couple of days. Chicken Parmesan is just really fast, just really easy. Thank God, because I am not into cooking complicated food. And chicken parm is not complicated. But yeah, I'm going to be making several dishes over the next few days. And that's just because I've got surgery coming up later in the month. So, when it's kind of good when you know that you're going to have surgery, because you can plan ahead. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going to stock the freezer with little casseroles and different things. I've already got a chicken pot pie in the freezer. So I'll be adding the chicken Parmesan to that. I'm making a mess, a big mess, so just excuse that. And hi, I see we've got one in, so hello, welcome. This is not necessarily a cooking channel, as you can tell. Hey, it's Candy, the wee service dog. Hey, Laurel, how are you? I got your message on Facebook, but I haven't, other than posting things like for the auction, I haven't really been on Facebook much. So, just because of life. And to complicate matters, I'm pretty sure I broke my toe yesterday, which is not a huge thing in and of itself. It's just kind of a nuisance. So, what can I say? That's just the way my life is, actually. So YouTube has got this new thing for channels that don't have a lot of subscribers, and that is you can go live now. And today is the first time that I saw that. So I thought, why not just go ahead and take advantage of that? So, and I'll show you all, while we're here, I'll show you all how I do this. It's a really simple thing. I'm using all canned stuff and pre-prepared stuff this time. A lot of the time I do my own on the spaghetti sauce and whatnot, but this time I'm just cutting corners. It's good to do that sometimes, you know? Just kind of makes life go easier. It's really super simple. Here, I'll show you. Let me tilt this down. Ignore the mess. So the first thing I do is I go ahead and break the egg. And since we know somebody who sells eggs, we just got the eggs from her. So I break the eggs, and I use these Italian breadcrumbs right here, just because, like I said, I'm not making anything today. Let me pull this. Actually, ideally, if you're going to be freezing this to reheat later on, you really don't want to cook it all the way done, so don't do what I just did. Cook it mostly done, but not all the way. Alright, I'm going to turn this pan way down for a minute. Okay, next I use, this is just Prego, but whatever sauce your family likes. Just put a little bit of it in a baking dish. Spread it around a little bit. Really, really easy. And the chicken, we just got regular chicken breasts. And I found I like them if they don't have the bones in them, if they're just the breasts boneless, skinless chicken breasts because I feel like I can do more with them. If I want to make chicken Parmesan, I can do that. If I want to do chicken and dumplings, it's really easy to do that. Got both of my backgrounds going there, the South and the half Italian part of me. So anyway, just take the chicken, cut it, and put it in the egg, put it in the breadcrumbs, and then I just put it in the pan. And since I turned the pan way down, I'm going to turn it up. It's on about medium there. You can see that. Just almost medium. Laurel, I hope life is going good for you. So I've got to ask you all, what do you feel like about Halloween on Sunday this year? Do you guys think churches should do trunk or treats on Sunday, or you think we should have it on Saturday? A lot of the churches here are going for Sunday. Okay, now I'm just going to put this in here, because that's when they feel that people will be out. I have mixed feelings about that. They do have a point about people being out, though. Okay, I'm just going to cut this. And there's lots of ways you can do chicken Parmesan. There's really not any one corner on the market. Ah, I've got a gristle in here. That's not good. Glad I'm cutting it. I can cut that right on out, because if it's difficult to cut through, it's going to be difficult to eat through. And don't worry, I'm not throwing it in the floor. I got a trash bag down there. I'm cutting it because I don't like my chicken super thick, and I'm too lazy. Some people pound it with one of those tenderizers. I'm just too lazy to hunt my tenderizer. Okay, now you see over here in the frying pan how this is getting all toasty looking? That's just because of the crumbs that have fallen off. Okay, the chicken actually is not that dark, so what you can do is skim it or start with new oil. It doesn't look like it's burning to me, it just looks like it's getting dark, so I'm not going to worry about it. But if it gets to the part where it looks like it's burning, that's going to be different. And I'm just making sure I coat these. So it's also always helpful to have some things like this in the oven, in the freezer, that you can just throw in the oven. Because I keep hearing different stories about the recovery period on this surgery. I've heard it can take a few weeks. I've heard it can be just a couple of days. I've got one doctor saying one thing. I've got another doctor not saying anything. It's frustrating. So I thought I would just kind of prepare for anything. All right, so now that I have these pretty well cooked, I'm going to go ahead and put them in this sauce over here. Now, my Italian part of me, I got to tell you, we call it sauce some of the time, but the Italian part of me, if it was homemade, I would be calling it gravy. So if you hear the term gravy, don't let it throw you off. Okay, it's the same thing. So then what I'm going to do is put some of the sauce, aka gravy, on top of the chicken Parmesan. And I'm making more than I usually do, so I may actually need to get my husband to come in and reach up into the cabinet. Oh, no, I've already taken it down. Did I say reach in the cabinet? I didn't mean that. I meant to reach over here and take the lid off. Because my hands are icky. And they also don't work right sometimes, and this is one of those days where if I touch it, I drop it, so. And y'all, I don't know about you, but I love cooking with these long iced teaspoons because I can reach the bottom of the jar. Okay. We actually laugh. I say that I can't cook without them. That's not too far off from being true. Okay, now these, I've even put the little small pieces in here. So I'm going to give this a minute. I'm just going to turn off the oven. Sorry, stovetop. And then this, you scoot everything over. It looks like I'm going to have another pan, so I'll get my husband to do that too. He's over here. He's ignoring me.
You done?
Yes, I do need something.
What do you need?
I need you to open up this jar of sauce. It's over here. I'm going to mix brands, but
Gas.
I know. Hopefully it'll turn out okay. I'm planning on it turning out okay. All right, y'all, I'm going to put this in the sink. I'll be right back. 1 second. You want to set that down?
Sure.
Just on the counter there.
Let me go get my pliers.
Okay, well, I'm glad that I asked you to do it.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, seriously, I'm going to have to go get my pliers. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, so while he's stepping over, I've got my hands washed now. So while he's stepping over to do that, I'm going to grab the cheese. I like leaving the cheese in the fridge for the last second. That way, hello again, I put it, just leave it cool as long as possible. So that's why it's in the fridge till the last second. I'll be right back. It's just right here. Now, you can use a bunch of different cheeses for this, okay? I like using the 5-cheese Italian blend, but, right there. But you can use whatever kind you like. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
If you like mozzarella, use mozzarella. If you like provolone, use provolone. I like this. It's my fave. So then, with this, I just go ahead and I sprinkle it over the cheese. This is actually what we're having for dinner tonight. I'm going to slip this in the oven. Now the oven's it's at 350 and it'll go about 30 minutes. Okay. This one's going in the freezer. So for this one, all I'm going to do is put the cheese on it. Now, normally I wouldn't use an aluminum pan, but I'm going to wind up using all of my baking pans, so this time it'll be aluminum. And it's got the lid for it. And for these, you just put the lids on top. There's a white side and a silver side. I got these at Walmart. So just put the lid on and just squeeze it closed. That's all you have to do. It's real easy. Now I've got this to go in the freezer, and what I'll do, since I'm not sure about how heavy this will hold, in the freezer. I'll just put a piece of cardboard right on top of this whole thing, frame and everything, before I put the next one on top of it. Not real hard. Again, just, you know, whatever sauce you all like. So I was talking to a friend of mine about the Halloween thing earlier. I say earlier, it may have been last night actually, now that I think about it. And she's of two minds too. She's got a mixed opinion going. She's like me. She's not sure Sunday night is the time to do it, but it's going to be the time when the kids are out. My objection to any Halloween night is that you should always not go out late. Like, I didn't want my kids to go out late either when they were young. So, not on a school night. Okay, now I'm wiping this out where it got so much crumbs earlier when I was trying to cook. So, since I had to make 2 batches, I'm just wiping out most of the crumbs there. Trying to get them all. Oh my God. Well, I am making a huge mess. Okay. Wipe this off too, since I got it on the stove. Since my eye is not on. All right, here we go. I guess this is going to be kind of from the top, you could say. Okay. Chicken, egg, cheese, breadcrumbs, plate to put the breadcrumbs in, and sauce. And I'm going to need a little bit of oil. Now, I use vegetable oil. You can use whatever kind you like. A lot of people use olive oil, and that is great if you like the flavor of olive oil. Now, I have noticed it's a little strong for my family, so I like using vegetable oil. And this is already warm, so I'm going to put it on medium. I'll put the oil over here in case I need more. And here's my chicken breast. Let's move this out of the way. There we go. All right. So I'm cutting my chicken breast. Up here, putting some firm pressure down on top of it there. You just got to make sure you keep your hand out of your way, because the last thing that you want to do is cut your hand while you're cooking, and especially if you're doing chicken. And I said this earlier, I'm just going to repeat it. I like using the boneless, skinless chicken breast because there's so much you can do with it. If I want to make chicken Parmesan, it's really easy. If I want to make chicken soup, chicken and dumplings, any kind of chicken stir fry, chicken tenders, it's just a lot easier if you're starting with boneless. Drop that over there. I don't believe in complicated. Okay, so just take the chicken, dip it in the egg, and dip it in the breadcrumbs. Now, some people like to go back in and dip it in the egg and dip it in the breadcrumbs again. that's fine. There's a lot of leeway. Let me make sure this pan is hot. Okay, it looks it. Yeah, there's just a mild sizzle going on there. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. Not enough to really burn, but just enough to, get done. I hope you all are having a good night. Again, this is just a quick and easy way to do the chicken. And then I'll serve it with a big old salad and a little bit of spaghetti. Because it just works well that way. And this is going to be frozen. So I'm not going to cook the chicken quite all the way done, okay? Because if you cook it all the way done, and then you freeze it, when you go to thaw it and then cook it, you run the risk of burning it easier. And I don't want it burned. So yeah. You can see how it's going. Yep, it's going pretty good. That's cooking at 350 for about 20-30 minutes, really until the cheese is melted good. That's all you're doing on that is melting the cheese. Last piece, and it goes into fry. Just a couple of minutes on each side. You're basically just kind of browning the breadcrumbs. I'm going to move these out of the way. Scrape this off in the trash bag. Y'all don't need to see me doing that, just trust me. Now I know somebody's going to say you don't need to put your fork in the frying pan because it's non-stick, but oops, don't tell my mama. We'll all get along fine. Okay, just a minute. I'm just going to wash my hands while we're doing that. Where's my pot? Here it is. Okay. Pot. Now these, you can tell possibly that it's not quite cooked in the middle. Right there, you can see it's still a little bit pink. That's fine because I'm going to freeze it. That way, after I have surgery, we'll just have something that we can just pull out of the freezer right quick and just stick it in the oven. And life is so much simpler that way. Plus, it eliminates or helps eliminate the temptation to go out to eat. Because y'all know what that's like. You're tired, you're stressed, you're hungry, and you want to go out to eat. So having something in the freezer is really helpful. And I don't know if this is healthy or not because I'm stressed and I need to get this done. And I know you all know how that goes too. But it's easy. And I just made, the chicken breasts were big enough that you saw me. I just made 4 chicken cutlets out of that 1 chicken breast. So that's enough for dinner and possibly lunch the next day. All right, so I'm gonna kind of squish this one over to the side just a little bit so I have some space here. And I didn't do that to the last one because I had a little more chicken. I'll show you what I'm going to do here in just a second. Woo, that's loud. My husband probably has his headphones on and could probably hear this over his headphones. Okay, so this is going to go on the back eye. All I'm going to do is heat this up. Get my pot. And I'm going to make some spaghetti. So the spaghetti I'll have to go with dinner tonight, and this spot right here, this whole section that I left open, yeah, I'm going to put spaghetti in this section and just stir it up. That way I have everything, so when I go to put it in the oven, like I said, it'll be there. Let me get some water. Okay, excuse my mess over here. Okay, turn that on high. In a few minutes I'll be ready to cook this. While I'm waiting on the water to heat, I'm going to put the cheese on the chicken Parmesan. If I can get the bag open. Oh, what a day, what a day. I don't have things quite together. And you can just put on whatever amount of cheese you like. And the other thing is, when I go to really cook this and put it in the oven, I can add more cheese. You don't have to be stuck only with this. Let's see, TJ Bell Designs is here, and so's Anita Dump. So hello and welcome to you all. I didn't see the chat pop up. So this is a different format for me. I still got to get used to it. YouTube has just done this thing where you can go live even without 1,000 subscribers. So I saw that earlier today and I thought, hey, I'm just going to take advantage of it. But I'm not used to flipping on the phone screen for the chat. So sorry about that, you all. Thanks. I hope it's going to be yummy. We're trying. That usually works out pretty good. It's really easy to do. So I like easy. But because I didn't really plan to come on, my kitchen is not in the best shape for this. So next time I'll do it. Okay. Open this up. So where normally I would only cook about half of this for my husband and myself, I'm going to cook the whole thing. Aha, this is working. That's going to need some water. That's real thick, so let me get some water. I've got that going on. So is everybody enjoying the fall colors? I hope so. They're starting to get really pretty here. I'm in the South, so we get fall colors a little bit later than some places. Like TJ, you probably had your oranges and yellows for a long time now. We're just now starting to hit peak, which is okay. Oh, I'll tell you a little secret too about cooking pasta. If you add oil, yeah, the pasta won't stick to itself, but neither will your spaghetti sauce. So be careful. If you absolutely have to add oil, just watch how much you put in. That's the only thing. I do like to add a little bit of salt though. Not enough to go crazy with, just a little. Okay, that going. I am gonna need my, let me go look for my large spoon. It's right over here, don't go away. Or whatever you would like to do. Okay. This one. My long handled teaspoon over here. Yay! Okay, now the Parmesan that I put in the oven just a little bit ago, it's just about ready. It's going to be ready probably before my pasta is. That's what I get for talking, right? Let me get my scissors. Okay. And since I'm half Italian, y'all know I can't talk without using my hands. You've probably noticed that on the live streams on my other channel, how I'm like using my hands some. That's because I'm genetically predispositioned. Oh, why not, right? Ah. Stir, stir, stir. Okay. And here's something else I do that works well for me. This says that the cooking time on this is 13 minutes. I like mine a little softer than that, so I'll usually go like 14 or 15 on cooking the pasta. But it's whatever you like. Okay, I see now that Candy says everything is still green here in Cincinnati. Oh, it'll be turning soon, I hope. I'm a little surprised that you don't have more green. Because like I said, we're hitting peak. Okay, this won't fit in here good. So I have to do the old break it in half trick. And contrary to what some of my family members will tell you, the world does not come to an end if you break your pasta in half. And if it does, we got bigger problems. So, it's the way it is. That's just the size pot I'm using. I should have gotten the bigger one out. Okay. So we'll set the timer here for, I'll go with 14 minutes, and then we'll see how it is from that, okay? We'll go from there. I'm gonna sit down over here. And again, ignore my mess. Like I said, I wasn't really planning on going live, but then I saw the opportunity and decided it was too good to pass up. Okay, excuse this stuff. This is my husband's rock tumbling stuff. And then we had a thing from church, and so we've got cupcakes left. I don't know what we're gonna do with the cupcakes. Probably freeze some, toss some. We had a whole pizza left. I think that's going to a shelter, thank goodness. Okay, Candy says, usually as soon as it gets cooler, we're starting to get cooler. Oh, good. Good. See, we've already been cool. I think the high for the day was like 58, something like that. So we're already starting to get cooler, which is, it's nice because I get so tired, as you all do, of the hot weather. So, and I was really concerned that it had been so hot and dry that we might not have a pretty fall, but it looks like we're going to. So, and on my other channel, I've been doing the fall color reports, so you can kind of keep up with it. I'm hopefully going to do one tomorrow. If all goes well, it'll be tomorrow. So, but I'm trying to get everything squeezed in and trying to get some videos scheduled over on my other channel because I don't know how long I'm going to be down after surgery. So with the help of Mel, who I have to give a huge shout out to him because he has helped me edit my videos for the ones that are coming out after I have surgeries, and he is just absolutely fabulous. Not just doing videos, he's a fabulous quality person. So I feel like I'm in really, really good hands with that. So with his help, I already have like 1 week of videos lined up. So we'll work on, right now we're working on the next couple of weeks. But I wanted to take you all through the process of, as far as like, I've done everything about my breast problem, or my breast blob, as we're calling it, because I wanted to see some videos from a patient's perspective of what all I was going through with this process, and I couldn't find them. So I'm trying to document like the whole thing. Okay, Candy says she's having an Indian summer. Now, I'm not really familiar with that term. I've heard it, but I don't really know, like, to know what it means. So, Candy, help me out here. What's an Indian summer? And she says, oh, that's great. I love Mel. He's really super. He is just really super. And I'm so glad that he's able to help me with this because it's a big load off. Because I've got so much to do right now. And, of course, I've got the fundraising auction for the service dog, so I've got all of that to list, and part of it is going to be on eBay, and part of it's going to be on Facebook, so getting all of those things ready, plus trying to do the little shorts for the fall colors, which the shorts have actually been a lot easier for me to do than trying to do like a bunch of 8-minute videos. So he's been really, really helpful. But I'm documenting the whole process on video, from like getting ready and having the mammogram to getting ready and having the biopsy done. And what you do for that, I had this breast MRI that was just weird. Okay, it was just weird. Oh, let me go stir this pasta. I'll take you with me. What that involved was crazy, and they didn't really get me ready for that. Like, it would have been nice to know that I was going to be on a little tiny traditional MRI table, which that I figured. But I didn't realize I was going to be on my stomach with my butt stuck up in the air. Okay, that's looking really good. And it would have been nice to have known that. So, a few little things there. But like, having a mammogram was like I needed to know things like, you know, they say don't wear deodorant, which is like really slimy and icky to me. So they have wipes there, but I've got another way of dealing with it that I think works better. So I always wind up wearing it and then taking it off. So the little hint on what works for me there is it. Okay, Candy says Indian summer is where there's a few cool days in September and then a warm spell again. Okay. Well, hopefully we won't hit that warm spell. Hopefully it'll just be a few cool days and then keep getting cooler. That's what I'd like to see. But there's a lot to be said for having an Indian summer. So thank you for filling me in on that, because I know what it is. So thank you. Gonna get my drink here. Iced tea. 3-syllable lid. Works great. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay, something came up and then went away, so. Alright, don't know what that is. But, yeah. So anyway, documenting the whole process on my other channel. Trying to give some hints. So, but like briefly, it was the mammogram followed by a ultrasound, because like they found something and they always get real excited, just not in a good way. So mammogram and ultrasound on that day, then the crazy MRI. Then I know, right? But what it is they have this, they call it a box. And so like you're laying down and you got the girls going into this box thing, but you have to put your arms straight out and your butt sticking up in the air. So it's like your butt's up here, your girls are right here, your arms are out, and then they've got you sticking your from your knees up, they've got you sticking like that, while your butt's up in the air and the rest of you is like down and forward. So they've got all this padding around you to keep you in place. And, you know, while you're doing all that, mine was ordered with contrast, and I think most of them are. So while you've got your arm forward, I had this IV running to this other machine, because that automatically, like they can control that from their section in like this whole MRI department. So they just tell the machine when to give you your dose of contrast. So yeah, and then they like scoot you forward and backwards. I'm telling you, it was like a carnival ride or something almost, except without the fun. So that we did that. Then I had the biopsy, and it's like they weren't really good on telling me how to get ready for the biopsy, and it really ticked me off. So that video's coming out. And then now that we've done the biopsy, I get to do this surgery procedure. And in the meantime, you're talking to different doctors and you're seeing their different doctors. So I saw one for the mammogram, and it really was like a circus MRI. I'm telling you, it was crazy. And then you're seeing different doctors, and they all have slightly different ideas. Like I saw one for the mammogram and the ultrasound, because the doctor herself did the ultrasound. Then I did the biopsy. That was another doctor, and he called. It kind of scared me to death. Oh, hey, Tanya. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, it's good to see you. I'm still getting things listed for the auction. Y'all, Tanya donated several things for the auction, and I am still getting everything listed. So, most of the things, if not all of the things, I think most of the things that Tanya donated are going on Facebook. There's some boots that are going to go on eBay later. Right? I am so totally with you on that. And that's kind of what I ran into. Then they sent me to the surgeon, and the surgeon, he's like on a slightly different path, but like nobody told me like what do I expect as far as like recovery. I'm hearing it's going to be easier than other surgeries I've had, which is what the surgeon said, but then I would hope so, because I've had some pretty major surgeries. You know, my back surgery, I left the hospital in a walker. You know, I go from a walker, then months later to a cane, then finally at 5 months, I'm walking without a cane, sort of. So yeah, compared to that, anything's going to be easier, right? So, and then I've heard it's individualistic, and then I've heard it's only going to be a few days to a week, and then I've heard it's a couple of weeks, and then one lady told me that she'd had it done, and it took her 4 weeks. So I don't know. So with the chicken parm, it's all going in the freezer. I'm letting God handle the details, and that's what else are you going to do? So I figure stacking the freezer is my job, and the healing is God's job. So there you go. That's where I am with this. And then, yeah, so we'll see how the surgery goes, and that's on the 26th. So, and of course, what do I have scheduled that weekend? I've got scheduled a farmer's market, which I may or may not make, and Halloween, which I may or may not make for trunk or treat. So this is only like, this will be the first trunk or treat I've done here, because always before, or the past 2 years rather, they've all come to the door. So this year I'll be at church. Probably. Got to come over and stir this again. Oh, roaring boil. Good deal. 2 more minutes. And I think it looks like it's actually going to be done in 2 more minutes. Now, where I said I was not going to cook the chicken all the way, I am going to put the spaghetti in here, and I am going to go ahead and pull some of the spaghetti with a couple of minutes and get it most of the way done. I just don't want it all the way done, because if I do, then when I go to actually bake it, I may have problems. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. So let me get my tongs. Hold on. And I'm going to go ahead and pull this straight out of the water. I wouldn't do this. I would drain it carefully. If, like, when I go to cook our dinner later, or when we go to have dinner later, I'm going to cook this. Drain it rather. But for this, I'm not going to, because it's going to add some moisture, and that's actually going to help it some in the baking process. And a little bit of the gravy sauce for those of you who aren't Italian, and for some of you who are. And, you know, if it looks like I need some more when I go to take it out of the oven, we can always add more sauce and more cheese. Aha! Timer is done. And I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to let hubby drain the spaghetti. Hubby!
Hark, do I hear sounds of supper?
You do hear sounds of supper. And I'm just going to put some more cheese on here. You need a colander. I don't have one. So, put some cheese on there, and then it's just a matter of putting the lid on it. And these lids, I got the pans, I don't know if y'all heard me say, I got the pans at Walmart. Over in the aluminum foil section. Not in the aluminum foil section. That's wrong. These were in housewares. Where did I see them in the aluminum foil section? Maybe it was a grocery store. I guess it was, but these were cheaper at Walmart.
Yeah, those were with the other...
housewares, right? The other baking dishes?
I call it kitchen stuff, but it's got the other aluminum foil roasting pans and...
Wherever the roasting pans are.
Plastic stuff.
They're somewhere. So he's draining the pasta, and I'm taking our dinner out of the oven. So there we go. That's what it's like out of the oven. And then we're just going to go ahead and have our spaghetti, which he's draining and calling it good. And for the spaghetti, I'm either going to use this cheese or the powdered Parmesan cheese in the shaker, depending on whichever hubby likes at the moment. So, all right. So I'm going to go now, and hope you all have a great evening. Yeah, I do. I try to remember to call it sauce, though. It doesn't always work out that I can remember to call it sauce, obviously, but I try. And if it's homemade, it's gravy. That's just the way it is. Me too, Tanya. Me too. Oh, Tanya says she's Southern, she guesses, because her grandma was from Mississippi. There you go. I'll count that. Can't wait to move closer to you and we can all meet. I agree. And if not, then whenever I go to get the service dog, hopefully we can work it out then too. So I'm going to go eat supper. Thank y'all for hanging out. And I'm probably going to clip out some of this later and just do a video just on the chicken parm, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I just wanted to try this out since I could finally live stream on this channel. So, all right, y'all take care. Have a good night. And I'll see you soon on the other channel. Okay? Bye, y'all.